welcome to the Ruth Loves to Knit podcast. I'm Ruth and I love to knit. You're very welcome here this morning. Well, it's morning with me. It's Monday the 3rd of June 2024 and I'm coming to you as always from my little craft room in our home in the southwest of England, where I live with my husband and our 2 children and our 2 dogs. And we also have students staying with us for 2 weeks, so it's a full house at the moment. Everybody, the kids are back at school after half term. My husband and Ryan are going out for the day, so I thought I would jump on here for a very exciting, special, overwhelming pattern lunch. I have absolutely cannot tell you how excited I am to share this with you. We've been talking a lot about it. It's not a surprise if you're a long-term viewer. But today is the day that the Ruth Shawl has been released, published, let into the world, out into the wild, and I am just so excited about it. I think my life is complete now that I have a pattern named after me. If you're new to this channel, and this is not a normal podcast, please go back and watch some of the other podcasts. You can see from the length of them which one's a normal podcast. But I just thought I would jump on, talk a little bit about the pattern, talk a little bit about it's a charity pattern where the proceeds are going to, and show you that I have begun and hopefully inspire you to buy the pattern and cast on. I'm drinking a cup of peppermint tea this morning. I always find after the weekend that I need a wee cup of peppermint tea, so hope you've got a wee drink of something, and we'll just spend a bit of time together. Now, if you have no clue what I'm talking about, this is the Ruth Shawl. The beautiful shawl designed by Jo Harriet, who is one half of Twin Set and Pearl. And I have seen this in real life, and it is the photograph doesn't do it justice. It is stunning. And this is released today on Ravelry. It is £5. But all of the money from this pattern is going towards my probably favourite charity, favourite place, and that is Lamb Project in Bangladesh. I want to tell you a little bit about the project. I want to tell you a little bit about the shawl. But first of all, I want to tell you about June is the month that Twin Set and Pearl send all of their proceeds to charity. Now this may be getting a bit confusing, but the Ruth Shawl is giving money to Lamb Project, but I don't want to not mention the fact that June is myeloma awareness month, and Rachel, who's the other half of Twin Set and Pearl, has had myeloma for 8 years. She said she was diagnosed 8 years ago, and so every June they try and raise money. There will be 2 new patterns coming out. I think it's on the 17th of June to raise money specifically. The 17th of June is actually the week of the main awareness of myeloma. And if you go to their Instagram, they did a live and it's saved on their grid, and they talk about where the money will go, how you can recognise myeloma. They have some sites for the Myeloma UK website and things like that, but all of the money from any of their other patterns will go towards that. I don't want to take away from that this month. I don't want to detract from that this month, as that's such an important cause as well. And you'll get all the details on their podcast, Twin Set and Pearl podcast, here on YouTube or on their Instagram, or I'm sure if you want to message them, that's fine too. And it's obviously a cause really close to their heart because they're going through it. And I hope that you'll maybe go over. And I was just thinking the other day, where was I? I can't even remember where I was, but I went, I took my daughter, it was her birthday on Sunday, and I took her out on, I think, one day last week just for a wee birthday treat. She was studying hard for her GCSEs, but we went out for a few hours and I bought myself a coffee, and because I got something like coconut milk in it, it was nearly a £5. And some of their patterns are much less than that. So do go over and have a wee look, see if there's something that you would like. If you don't want to buy a pattern, they have a Ko-fi account where all the money will also be going to that cause. And I just wanted to say that I didn't want to take away from this. So this particular pattern I'm going to talk about, all that money is going to Lamb, which I'm going to talk about. But any other pattern, it's going to go to myeloma awareness. And as I say, if I've totally confused you, just go over and check out their last podcast or their Instagram feed, or contact them. So that's, I just wanted to say that they are an amazing pair. I am privileged to say they're my friends, but the amount of money they give to charities is unbelievable, and they just do such an amazing, and it's not, you know, their patterns are beautiful. It's not like you're buying a substandard pattern. They're absolutely beautiful, and it's a wee way to pay back, to pay it forward, or whatever way you want to look at it, towards different causes. But today is all about the Ruth Shawl. And this has been in the works for a wee while. Last December, they took all of their pattern sales and sent and donated it to Lamb. They raised £1,500. And so they wanted to then do something more long term that would be always in the pipeline. No matter when anybody bought this pattern, the money would go to Lamb. And you might say, Lamb, what's Lamb? Well, Lamb is a place that has been in my heart for many, many years, right back since the 90s. I qualified as a midwife. I trained as a midwife in Whitechapel, in the Royal London in London. You might see have some relevance to you from Call the Midwife. It's that area. And honestly, in the 90s, it wasn't much different than what you see on your TV screen. But there was a massive, massive community of Bengalis there. And I got my interest there. I learned a bit of Bangla just to be able to help the women. And one thing led to another, and I ended up actually going out to work in Bangladesh. And I went to work at a hospital called, I will put sort of photographs up here as I go through. I went to work at a place called Lamb Hospital. Now this is you know, a while ago. I was there for quite a while, quite a number of years, but I'm home since mid 2000s. But when I was there, it was very rough. We didn't have email, we didn't have phone, we didn't have any of those things, and I was mostly hospital based. It was very small then and very rustic. It was but I worked as a midwife there for the first half, and then I went back and worked as a chaplain when I got the language, and just being able to sit beside people and chat to them, pray with them, and explain the procedures, explain the outcomes, and just be with people. And it's the most privileged of my life. It really was. Lots of things led to me having to leave, but my big part of my heart's still there, and I still take a great interest in it. And if you've watched my podcast for a while, you know that I give all my ad revenue money to Lamb, and we've been able to send off quite a lot of money to them as well. So if you can't afford a pattern, or you don't want to give money that way, just letting the ads roll gives money towards Lamb. So, you know, it's everything. So Lamb Hospital is in the northwest of Bangladesh. I'll put a wee map up here. It's quite far from the capital city. It's almost about an hour from the Indian border, quite near to Nepal, and very, very rural, just paddy fields all around. And it has a catchment area of 1.5 million people. So it really is, you know, does amazing thing. It's just an amazing place. Last night I went to kind of look up a bit, so I'm just going to look up some bits on my phone here. I went to look up some details for you, and I was overwhelmed by what they're doing. It is just a special place, and I think one of the things I love about it too is that there are foreigners, Badeshis we call them, and they work there, but none of them take a salary. So any money that goes to the work, goes to the nationals. It's not like the big charities that, you know, the top people are earning thousands and thousands of pounds. That's not the way Lamb works. It's everybody is we raised our own support to be there, and all the money goes to Lamb or goes to the nationals or goes straight into helping the different programs. And if you want to know really detailed, there's a website called lambproject.org, and you will see in Technicolor all the things that they're doing. It's just nearly too many to say, but I'll put a few screenshots up here of some of the things that they do, and it just says LAM is a Christian international organisation which provides values-based, service-driven, appropriate levels of excellent care that all, especially the poor and vulnerable, may have abundant life. We serve God through serving the poor, and their mission is to serve the poor, mainly the poorest of the poor, and do it because God sent them. LAM serves the most vulnerable people in the communities of northwest Bangladesh, providing accessible and high quality healthcare and development services. We're working towards physical, social, emotional and spiritual health in the fullness of life for all. And it's earned many awards over the years. LAM's purpose is that the people of Bangladesh, transformed by the love of God, experience abundant life in healthy and just communities. And it's those Christians serving there. And you know, the Bible says with faith without action. And there's no point trying to tell somebody who's hungry about God. You have to meet their need, you have to meet their hunger need, you have to meet their medical needs and all the rest of it. And very often, even as a chaplain, I didn't share the gospel. I just shared God's love. And that's what we need to be doing, isn't it? So anyway, they work in the community. They have a hospital. A team of 200 staff are committed to caring for the whole health and well-being of patients, providing 24/7 emergency care across in and out patients. They have learning and development. They have a midwifery school. I'll show you the picture. They wear a lovely pink uniform. They have a nursing school. They have an English medium school with, I think, 150 students. It's a big place. They have surgery. They do fistula surgery, a lot of fistula surgery. You'll have heard of that through Creabea. She raised money for that. They have, the school. They do monitoring and research on behalf of the government. And it just goes on and on and on. But all of that takes money, doesn't it? And I just want to get sorry, this not coming through. Programs, I think. Where did I see the they have a poor fund, is what I wanted to do mostly. Can't find it now. Isn't that just typical? I think it's 75% of the people who come to the hospital can't afford to pay. There's no NHS there. They can't afford to pay, but obviously they won't be turned away. So they have a poor fund, and that poor fund can be used by those people. It's obviously there. It's all assessed. You know, I'm still trying to find it here. Yes, there's it there. Obviously they get assessed and everything, so nobody's, pulling the wool over. But it says here, the Poor Fund is fundamental to LAM as we are here to provide for those most in need. Providing a financially sustainable service in one of the poorest areas of Bangladesh is a challenge. LAM's catchment area includes up to 1.5 million people, many of whom are marginalised because of their gender or socio-economic status. We seek to help them by providing money, encouraging men to bring their families for treatment by lowering outpatient fees for women and children. Many patients are unable to pay the full amount of medical care. Currently, more than 95% of patients receive a subsidy against their fees and application, and more than 5% pay nothing at all. The Poor Fund costs about $167,000 per year. The money is generously provided by donations from a variety of people and organisations, mainly outside of Bangladesh and through some external funding grants. LAM's ideal is to run a self-sustaining hospital, remaining committed to moving towards this financial ideal. We are proud to self-fund almost 80% of our day-to-day operating costs, but in reality we are unable to attain full self-funding given our foundational value of serving the poorest of the poor. So anything helps, anything helps. You think some women are definitely a marginalised community in Bangladesh. Many of them are treated as less than a dog. And the amazing opportunity I had and they have now to just show some love when they came in to have a baby. There's no reason that women can't have babies at home. LAM train traditional birth attendants. They have mobile clinics. Go and look it up. It is just amazing the work that they're doing. And we encourage, but obviously there's malnutrition, there's very young girls having babies because they're married very young, and there's complications and they need to come to the hospital. And to think that I can't go because I can't afford it is frightening. And I know majority of that watch this are women, so you know what it's like to have a baby if you've had a child, and to think that you can't go to the hospital, or you're too scared to go, or you could die in childbirth is just horrific. They have TB programs, they have leprosy, just go and look it up. It's exciting to see the work that's being done. But as I say, that all needs financed, but a little goes a very, very long way in Bangladesh. So we are hoping, excuse me as I take a slurp, we are hoping that a little bit will go from this shawl, this Ruth shawl. And every time I look at it, I just cannot believe it. And I'm just so thankful to Joe and Rachel for doing this. And it's released today, it's on Ravelry, it's £5, and apart from what Ravelry takes, everything else will be going to Lamb. And I really hope that you will consider it. And I know there's lots of things that we need to be supporting at the moment. I know there are, but this is ongoing. So if you want to support Joe and Rachel with the myeloma fundraising, do that. This will always be there. I'll be talking about it again, don't worry. And I'm going to put a couple of photographs up here of other ones that some people have done. It is a two skeins of fingering and 1 skein of lace. But actually, I think from looking at one of these photographs, you could easily use 2 skeins of fingering and a contrasting skein of fingering. I don't think it would have to be lace. You could use mohair, you could use whatever. It's written and charted. So charts and then written. And it's all set out very, very well. Now, it is, I'll be honest, I hope I'm not putting anybody off, I found it a wee bit fiddly at the start, just because you're working with the lace and the fingering. But I find nearly all shawls are fiddly at the start, because you're dealing with such small numbers unless it's a top down. I'm gonna see. So I now just cast on with very short straight needles. It's a 3.5mm, and I cast on with those, and that really, really helped. But I got this pattern on Saturday morning, and I cast on. Everything else went to the wall. If you watched my last podcast, you'll know I've got plenty of whips on the go, but everything else went. Now, this is a pattern that absolutely will need blocked, because there's a bit of lace in it, and it won't look like anything till it is blocked. But I'll show you the yarn first. Rachel and Joe gifted me this yarn for my birthday when I went to see them, so they bought me this in No Frills Knitting when we went to Bristol. So the main colour, the fingering weight is, that's about right, is Regia Silk. It's lovely. I don't think they put colourways on there. Sure they don't. It's colour 45 and it's a lovely plummy purpley colour. It's a wee bit darker than that. And then the lace, they also gifted me, if I find it, and it's coarse yellow. Matching the socks. That's my Marie Curie socks behind. It's a funny old day here. It's very dull, but whatever way the sun's shining in. So, and I wouldn't have put that with, they chose that and I love it, but I wouldn't have thought to go for that. So it really is beautiful. And that's Scapia's Alpaca Rhythm. And it is 80% alpaca, 20% extra fine wool, and it's called Disco, and it's colorway 668, and it is lovely. It's very fine. So because you're dealing with 2 different weights of wool, it does feel a bit funny in your hands to start with, to be honest, but once I got going, and there's a deliberate mistake. I've decided this is my little signature mistake to put design feature, and I didn't realize until I looked at it last night. I thought I'm not written back. I'm not. So this is what I've done so far. So you see, because of the lace, you have to have So when it's blocked, it'll be beautiful. It's like a flower, so you can't even really see it. Although that stitch looks quite big, when it's all stretched out, that'll go back to kind of half normal. So you've got the lovely border. You see the border, see the way it comes out. See, you can't, until it's blocked, it'll look like nothing. And you can see that, you see the deliberate mistake. I did my yarns over and sit, but I'm going to keep it because it's a design feature for me, but apart from that, I've done it all right. So it just goes into these lovely flowers, I suppose, lace flowers, and it's really well written. It's repetitive. Once you get to this, you just repeat and repeat and repeating, and it's just gorgeous. The yellow's blowing out. It's that bright. See, it'll be like, oh, that's it there. The edging will be like that. Oh, so clever, honestly. And wish I could get it sort of to look half decent. But yes, because of lace, you really need to block it out. I would say, I don't see why a beginner couldn't do it, but I did restart it about a fair few times. I wasn't really concentrating on it, has to be said, and I kept bringing the yarn over the wrong way. You have to keep bringing it to the wrong side, and I kept dragging it over the wrong way, and so I don't know, I was overthinking it, and I wasn't thinking and all the rest of it, but I'm really, really pleased with how it's going now. But I do think you could definitely use finger weight if you don't have lace for the wee flower bits. But I think it's going to be gorgeous. I've already thought of other yarn I want to use. I think it would be beautiful as a gift knit because it's very delicate. Let me see it a bit better there. And I think, sorry, my stomach's rumbling. I think even if you don't want to knit it for yourself, gift it or buy it and knit it and gift it to somebody else. Or like Joe and Rachel, I have a Ko-fi account. Excuse me as I take another sip. It's linked. I will try and be a big girl and put links. I'll try and put a link to Lamb. I'll try and put a link to the Ravelry pattern, and I'll try and put a link to my Ko-fi. I will not promise, down below in the description. And if you don't want to buy a pattern but you do feel you want to donate something, you can donate to my Ko-fi, and that all goes to Lamb. Or there is a button on the lambproject.org that you can just send money through if you want to. Don't expect anything either. I know people have got all sorts of demands, cost of living, all sorts of things going on in the world that I'm sure you've donated to, but this is just something that's close to my heart. You get something for your money at no extra cost to yourself, and I just think it's I'm just absolutely chuffed to bits with it. I've got this in my wee tea cake and make bag that my husband and kids bought me, I think either for birthday or Mother's Day, and so nice and bright and fresh. Even those colours would be nice in it, wouldn't it? And I've got it in there, and hopefully it'll be growing as the time goes on. So I've got a sleeve of a jumper to get done, but hopefully. But if you think that it's something you'd like to help with, or knit for somebody else, or gift to somebody else, please do go on to Ravelry, check it out, Ruth's Shawl by Twin Set and Pearl, and we would just be thrilled to be able to send anything to Lamb. If I've gone over the details of Lamb too much, when I was there, I worked as a midwife. We trained traditional birth attendants. I did on calls. I did things I was not trained for. See one, do one, teach one. But all of the lovely midwives that I worked with are now highly, highly trained. They can do all sorts of things. I remember delivering babies that honestly in the UK would have died, and through prayer, through amazing care, through amazing attention, those little ones survived. And I think it's just like 1 in 4 children die before the age of 1 in Bangladesh, and Lamb is really, really trying to stamp that out. Just looking to see, they have they've started another new thing now, and they're going into the villages and giving out like cards, so that once if you need the hospital, you can come in, and the colour of card you've got is the discount, or is the treatment you'll get. They have village health volunteers, they have community health workers, they have clinics and safe delivery units. This is all in the community. They do adolescent health, maternity high risk observation, TB, they identify and initiate treatment. They have rehab for the disabled, emotional and spiritual health, and also on the lambproject.org, they have success stories, and they would do your heart good. Go and read how lives have been changed through treatment, love, care at Lamb Hospital. We call it Lamb Project because there's so much more than just Lamb Hospital. They train nurses, they train midwives, they train health workers, they train their own staff, and I can say it was a lovely place to work, and a really special place, because there was Hindus, Muslims, Christians, those with no beliefs, all working together in harmony, and you don't see that very often. So go and check out lambproject.org. Go and see what's going on in a place far away from us. I'll say Dhonnobad on behalf of Lamb Project for any money that comes in for them. I hope you have a really, really fun time knitting the Ruth shawl, imagine. And as you knit it, if you are a Christian, maybe you'll pray for those that are working out there, those that come into the hospital, that they would feel God's love, and that it's a country where they just don't have the what do I want to say? It's the poorest of the poor. I mean, I remember looking after some women and they didn't even have money for a sari blouse. That's how poor they were. And what a privilege to be able to go in and show those people God's love, my love, and that somebody actually cares about them. And what a difference we could make if I've got 6,400 subscribers. Imagine if we all bought a pattern. Oh my goodness, what a difference that would make. And we could send all that money off, and that would just, it would do all sorts of things out there. I better stop waffling because I could talk all day about it. I think that's enough. I think I've said what I wanted to say, yeah. But you think 1.5 million people, that takes a heck of a lot of financial backing, doesn't it? But it's been going since 1974, and it's definitely set its mark in that part of the world, and it's got a really good reputation, and people do travel to it if they can. But you think if you're a woman out there especially, and you're maybe in a marriage that isn't a love marriage, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with arranged marriages, but they're just maybe not treated well, and you're scared, and you're maybe having a baby or another medical issue, and you come into Lamb and people care about you. Oh, what a difference it could make in so many people's lives. Well, I've waxed lyrical about it, haven't I? The Ruth shawl, go and buy it. Or if you don't want to buy it, you can put a bit of money into the Ko-fi and I'll send that off too. But please don't forget that their other patterns are going to a really, really worthy cause this month as well. You could just forfeit you and your partner's coffee, buy a couple of patterns, and think how much you can pay it forward just by doing that. I feel like there's something else I should have said and it's not coming to me. Hopefully another normal podcast maybe next week or the week after. But I'm going to go and finish my peppermint tea and get the washing out of the washing machine, all the glamorous life I lead, and maybe do another few stitches on my Ruth shawl. But it really, really special to spend time with you this morning, and thanks again to Rachel and Joe. And I'm okay. I used to speak Bangla. I used to speak it quite fluently. Obviously, as a chaplain, I had to be able to speak Bangla, but have to get it from the back of my head now. My grammar wouldn't be correct, I don't think, anymore. But to say thank you is Dhonnobad, and many Dhonnobads. Koop, beshi Dhonnobad. From the bottom of my heart, to anyone who buys the pattern, who watches the ads, who gives to Ko-fi, it's just thrilling to know that we away over here, away can help complete strangers just live a better life and live it more abundantly. I'll say goodbye for now and have a great week. All right, God bless. Bye.